In this video, I want to talk about car accidents. My name is Bill Karns. I'm co-founder of Karns And Karns, a personal injury law firm. We've handled thousands and thousands of car accident cases. And look, I want to talk about what you should do when you're involved in a car accident, the types of injuries that may result from a car accident, and what you may expect in the litigation process. So let's talk about what to do when you're in a crash. First thing, check in with yourself, make sure you're okay. If you feel any kind of physical pain or anything like that, make sure you get checked out. Even if you think you're okay, still a good idea to probably go to that urgent care, that ER, call your doctor, make sure you get seen, because there may be some hidden injuries. Number two, if you're at the accident scene and are able to get, information, the defendant's information, take photographs, insurance information, do it for sure. But make sure you're doing it safely. I don't want you to be in the middle of a freeway taking photos as cars go whizzing past you. Make sure you're in a safe spot after a crash and make sure that you are taking care of yourself before anything else. Number three, contact a personal injury lawyer. A lot of people try to go at it alone, and it is never good. A lot of times people on their way home from a crash, they get a call from the defendant's insurance company saying, hey, take $500 to settle your case. Never do that. You always want to explore the complete nature and extent of your injuries, understand how hurt you are before you sign any deal. And you always want to make sure you talk to a personal injury lawyer with real experience in handling these cases before coming to any agreement with the defendant's insurance carrier. One of the most important things after a crash is to make sure you follow your doctor's orders. If your doctor is saying, hey, you need physical therapy, go do the physical therapy. If they say, hey, you need an MRI, go get an MRI. Make sure you follow your doctor's instructions. The whole idea of this medical care following car crashes is to make sure that you get better. That's the whole goal here. Just get you back to health so you can go on living your life. Let's talk about the injuries that you can get from a car crash. The most common injuries are injuries to your spine, your neck, and your low back. The muscle sprains, strains, things like that. Also can be neurological injury and disc injury. So I got a little model here to talk about this. Here's a little model of what your spine looks like. Here's a vertebrae, which is bone. Here's another vertebrae, which is bone. And this little thing, this red thing in between the two, is called your disc. It's like a jelly donut. It allows us to move around, things like that. So it's kind of squishy. And what can happen in a car crash is you can kind of tear the disc and get what's called a disc herniation. So check this out. See that little thing that pops out right there? Boop. That's a disc herniation. And you see what it's on right there is this little orange thing right here. That's a nerve root. And nerve roots, we need those. Nerve roots innervate your body. They allow us to move. They allow our muscles to contract, to flex. If we didn't have our nerves, then our muscles wouldn't be connected to our brains. That's what the nerves are there for. What happens is you get this disc herniation, it puts pressure on this nerve root, and that can cause that radiating pain or that pain that travels down your leg. Many people refer to it as sciatica. Also pain going down your arm. It could be numbness, tingling, all sorts of loss of sensation. You could be dropping objects. You could be kind of dragging your feet. These can all be a result of nerve injury. So look, when you have a disc herniation that is compressing your nerve, that's a serious injury from a car accident case. And you got to make sure you got good lawyers that understand the process, the biomechanics of how that happens, the treatment relating to it so you can get better, and how to prosecute those types of injuries. Another injury from car accident cases that's sometimes overlooked is traumatic brain injury. So I got another little model here to kind of show you what I'm talking about. Here's a brain. It's inside the skull. I removed the top of the skull. None of this is real, so don't worry about this guy. He's okay. So when you are in a car crash and your brain is resting in your skull, it kind of floats around. I mean, it floats around in there. So if you are in a car crash and you get hit from the rear and back of your head hits that headrest, look at that. That brain just shifted right there and it slams into the back of your skull. And then it'll rock forward and hit the front of your skull. It's called a coup contra coup injury. But basically what it does is your brain is getting rattled around inside your head. What can happen is that can damage the actual connections between your neurons in your brain. And that's why you have these symptoms of headache, memory loss, fatigue, irritability, even changes in taste, difficulty finding words like I just had right there. So you can get some significant traumatic brain injuries from a car crash. And if this happens and you have these type of symptoms, you got to make sure you are with a lawyer that knows what the heck they're doing in terms of proving traumatic brain injury. Because it's not easy to do, especially in situations where it doesn't show up on medical imaging. And that's a really important point that you got to know. You may have a significant traumatic brain injury that doesn't show up on a CT scan, doesn't even show up on an MRI. So look, if you have a traumatic brain injury as a result of your car crash, or you've got serious spine injuries as a result of your car crash, you got to make sure you're with lawyers that know how to work those claims and know how to prosecute them to maximize your value. So let's talk about the process itself. When you hire a lawyer, you shouldn't have to worry about any anything. The only thing that you should be focused on is your health. That's it. The lawyer handles everything else. We handle contacting the insurance company, negotiating with the insurance company, contacting the defense, finding out everything we can about the defense and any potential insurance out there, contacting the DMV, taking care of your car, making sure your lost wages are taken care of, making sure you're compensated for your pain and suffering damages, make sure you're compensated for any other types of damages you have in your case, prosecuting the case, making sure that the defense can't say, well, we're not at fault. A lawyer takes care of all of that so you don't have to worry about it. So a lawyer will handle all the pre-litigation, all, document gathering, evidence gathering, and also once a lawsuit is filed, handle all the litigation up to and through trial and maybe even appeal. And again, the only thing you need to worry about is taking care of yourself so you get better. Look, you may have a lot more questions about car accident cases. Contact us. We're here for you. We'll answer any of your questions.